in the morning.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today is a crazy day for soap news. We have so much to unpack, so let's dive right into the drama. So we need to talk about Diane Jenkins Abbott right now, because she is in a living nightmare, and it is getting worse by the second. She is locked in this creepy cabin, or house, whatever it is. It has bars on the windows, and she is trapped with Dr. Lawrence Markham. But we all know he is not just some random doctor, he is a monster, and Diane knows it too. She is sitting there listening to him spin these lies about her having a mental breakdown. But Diane is sharp. She is a survivor. She has faked her own death before. So she knows a scam when she sees one. And she is looking right at this guy and she knows he is full of garbage. She refuses to just sit there and take it. She tells him straight up that she knows she is not having a breakdown. But the doctor just smiles that creepy smile. He tells her she is just trying to block it out. Gaslighting at its finest. Trying to make her think she is crazy. But Diane is not breaking. Not yet. I am completely sane. That is what Diane tells him. And she says her five senses are telling her that he is lying through his teeth. It is a powerful moment, because Diane is trusting her gut. She is not letting this fake medical professional mess with her head. But Markham does not back down. He just pivots. And this is where things get really terrifying. Dr. Lawrence tells her that if talk therapy does not work, he might have to use other methods. Other methods? Just let that sink in for a minute. What does that even mean? We are talking about a guy who is holding a woman hostage on the orders of Patty Williams, a guy who forged medical documents to make it look like she belongs in a padded room. So other methods could mean anything: heavy drugs, electroshock, straight up torture. It is a chilling threat. And Diane feels her eyes just go wide. She realizes the danger she is in. It hits her like a ton of bricks. And that is when Diane realizes something else. This is not just clinical. This is personal. She feels it in her bones. There is a personal vendetta happening here. So she asks him point blank, "Who are you? What is this all about?" Because she knows this guy is not just some hired gun. There is a connection. And if we look at the timeline and the rumors, we know exactly who this guy probably is. Martin Lauren, the psycho who trapped Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers in that clinic. The guy who messed with Tracy Abbott. He probably got plastic surgery to look like Dr. Markham. Patty Williams probably gave him the idea. Because Patty did the exact same thing years ago when she got surgery to look like Dr. Emily Peterson. So Diane is staring into the face of a literal psychopath. But Markham lies. Of course he lies. He tells her there is no conspiracy against her. He claims he just wants to help her, which is the biggest joke ever. But Diane is trapped. And the clock is ticking. Meanwhile, back at the Abbott mansion, things are incredibly tense. Kyle Abbott is pacing the floor. He is losing his mind with worry. His mother is missing. And he knows something bad has happened. Kyle starts wondering out loud if they should even believe that Patty knows where Diane is, because Patty is insane. She is a liar. She lives in her own delusional reality. So Kyle is questioning everything, but Jack Abbott is trying to stay focused. Jack tells Kyle that they have to proceed with the assumption that Diane is being held captive somewhere. Because what is the alternative? That she just walked away from her life, from Abbott, from Kyle and Harrison. Jack knows Diane would never do that. Not anymore. She worked too hard to get her family back. So Jack knows Patty is the key. Patty is the one pulling the strings. And Jack realizes he has to do something drastic. Something completely desperate. So Jack drops a bombshell on Kyle. He says he has to put on the performance of a lifetime. He has to play along with Patty. Jack plans to fake falling for her charms. He wants to pretend that he is actually swooning over her, just to get information on Diane. Jack says he will play the game and then turn the tables on her. But this is so dangerous. Jack is playing with fire. Patty is not a normal person. She is a dangerous and unpredictable threat. And Jack is going to try to outsmart her by playing with her heart. Her twisted and obsessed heart. We have to remember the history here. Patty has been obsessed with Jack for decades. She thinks they are soulmates. She thinks they are destined to be together. And she will do anything to make that happen, including kidnapping his wife. So Jack is walking right into the lion den. And let us just think about the trauma Jack is carrying. Victor Newman literally used Patty to drug Jack. Jack was locked on a yacht, drugged out of his mind, and compromised by Patty. It was a horrific violation. And now Jack has to willingly pretend to want this woman. He has to look at his abuser and pretend to love her. It is sickening, but Jack is doing it for Diane. Because he loves Diane that much, he is willing to sacrifice his own sanity and comfort to save her life. It shows how deep Jack loves Diane really. But it also shows how desperate the situation has become. Jack has no other options. The police are useless right now. Detective Burrow is just asking questions, but Jack needs action. So, he is taking matters into his own hands, even if it destroys him in the process. A little while later Patty shows up. Because of course she does. She is hovering around Jack like a moth to a flame. She walks in looking so smug, so triumphant. She thinks she has won the ultimate prize. She looks at Jack and tells him that she knew he could not resist her for long. She really believes her own delusions. She thinks Jack is finally seeing the light. But Jack is playing the part. He is holding back his disgust. He is pushing down his rage. And he makes a demand. He tells Patty that he wants to speak to the doctor treating Diane. He wants to check on her well-being. It is a smart move. Jack is trying to get proof of life. He is trying to get a location. Or a name. Anything that can help him find Diane. But Patty is not stupid. She might be crazy, but she is cunning. Patty looks at Jack and tells him that speaking to the doctor can be arranged. But she drops a massive ultimatum. She says that once he agrees to be with her, there is no turning back. No escape. She wants total commitment. She asks him flat out what his answer is. Will he commit to her? It is a chilling moment. Patty is holding Diane life over Jack's head. It is pure extortion. Emotional blackmail of the highest order. Jack is backed into a corner. He has to say the words. He has to sell the lie. So he looks at her and says he is fully committed. My answer is yes. Those 4 words seal his fate. Jack has just made a deal with the devil. And the devil is wearing a creepy smile. Jack knows he has to buy some time. He cannot just jump into bed with Patty right this second. So he tells her that this is a huge change, a massive shift in his life. And he says he might need some time to adjust to it, which is a completely reasonable thing to say, even in a fake scenario. But Patty is just eating it up. She does not see the stalling tactic. She just sees Jack finally giving in. She tells him that she has been waiting for this for a long time. She thinks it is the most wonderful thing in the world. Getting reacquainted. Starting fresh. She is living in a total fantasy world. And Jack is just nodding along. Praying that his plan works. Praying that he can get to Diane before Dr. Markham uses those other methods he was talking about. But then Patty drops the real nightmare scenario. She tells Jack that now that they are officially a couple, they are going to bring their romance out into the open. They are going public. Just think about the implications of that. Jack Abbott parading around Genoa City with Patty Williams on his arm. The woman who shot Victor. The woman who caused so much destruction. The woman who is currently holding his wife hostage. Everyone in town is going to think Jack has lost his mind. Tracy is going to freak out. Kyle is going to have to play along or risk blowing the cover. And what about Nikki Newman? Nikki is already dealing with her own health crisis and her war with Victor. Seeing Jack with Patty is going to send shockwaves through the entire town. It is going to be a media circus, and Patty is going to love every single second of it. We really need to talk about the psychological toll this is going to take on Jack. He is a proud man, the head of the Abbott family. And now, he is being forced to humiliate himself publicly to save his wife. He is going to have to smile for the cameras. He is going to have to hold Patty's hand at society or the GCC. He is going to have to pretend that he is happy, all while knowing that Diane is locked in a cage somewhere being tormented by a fake doctor. It is going to eat Jack alive. But he has to do it. He has no choice, because if he slips up even once, Patty will know. And if Patty gets mad, she might just order Markham to kill Diane. The stakes have literally never been higher. Jack is walking a tightrope over a pit of fire. And what happens when Diane finds out about this? Because you know Patty is going to make sure Diane knows. Patty is going to go back to that cabin and gloat. She is going to show Diane pictures of her and Jack together. She is going to tell Diane that Jack has moved on, that Jack chose her. It is going to be psychological torture for Diane. Diane is already dealing with the gaslighting from Markham. Now she is going to have to deal with the heartbreak of seeing her husband with her worst enemy. Even if Diane suspects that Jack is playing a game, it is still going to hurt. Seeing the man you love with the woman who ruined your life is a bitter pill to swallow. And Diane is trapped in a room with no way to communicate with Jack. She cannot tell him to stop. She cannot tell him she understands. She just has to sit there and suffer. And let us not forget about Kyle in all of this. Kyle is a hothead. He loves his mother fiercely, and he hates Patty with a passion. Kyle is going to have to watch his father pretend to love Patty. Kyle might even have to pretend to accept Patty into the family. Can you imagine Kyle Abbott playing nice with Patty Williams? It is almost impossible to picture. Kyle is going to want to rip Patty head off. Jack is going to have to keep Kyle on a very tight leash. If Kyle loses his temper and attacks Patty, the whole plan falls apart. So Jack is not just managing Patty. He is managing his son. He is managing his entire family. It is a massive burden for one man to carry, but Jack is doing it because he is a hero. A flawed hero, but a hero nonetheless. So where does this all lead? We are heading for a massive climax. Jack is playing the long game. He is going to get close to Patty. He is going to get her to trust him. And then he is going to strike. He is going to find out where Diane is, and he is going to bring the wrath of the Abbott family down on Patty and Dr. Markham. But it is not going to be easy. Martin Laurent is a dangerous guy. He knows how to manipulate people. He knows how to hide. If Sharon and Phyllis get involved, like the rumors suggest, this could turn into a massive rescue mission. We could see Jack and Kyle and Phyllis and Sharon all teaming up to take down Patty and Martin. It would be epic. But until then, we have to watch Jack suffer through this fake romance. We have to watch Diane fight for her sanity in that cabin. It is going to be a bumpy ride. So buckle up, soap fans, because Genoa City is about to explode. And we really need to dive deeper into the mind of Dr. Lawrence Markham. Or should I say Martin Laurent? Because if this guy really is Martin, his involvement makes this 10 times more terrifying. Martin is a master manipulator. He loves playing God. He loves trapping women and breaking their minds. He did it to Tracy. He did it to Sharon and Phyllis. And now he is doing it to Diane. He is probably enjoying every single second of this. When he told Diane he might have to use other methods, he was probably getting a thrill out of her fear. He feeds on that panic. And Patty is funding the whole operation. Patty handed him an envelope of cash right in the middle of Chancellor Park. So Martin is getting paid to do what he loves most: torturing innocent people. It makes him the most dangerous kind of villain, a villain with a budget and a twisted passion for his work. And where is Tracy Abbott in all of this? Tracy is the one who spotted Patty giving the money to Markham in the first place. Tracy is the anchor of the Abbott family. She is usually the peacemaker. But not anymore. Tracy has been traumatized by Martin before. If she finds out that Markham is actually Martin, she is going to lose her mind. Tracy is going to want blood. She is going to want to protect Jack and Diane at all costs. Tracy might even be the one to figure out the connection. She is smart. She is observant. She knows Martin tricks better than anyone. So Tracy could be the secret weapon in Jack's plan. While Jack is distracting Patty with this fake romance, Tracy could be doing the real detective work, digging into Markham Pass, tracking the money, finding the cabin. Tracy Abbott is not going to sit on the sidelines while her family is destroyed. And we cannot ignore the Victor Newman angle here. Victor is the one who unleashed Patty on Jack in the first place. Victor set this whole chain of events in motion when he had Patty drug Jack on that yacht. So Victor is responsible for Diane being kidnapped. Even if he did not order the kidnapping himself, his actions led directly to this moment. Will Victor feel any guilt? Probably not, because Victor never feels guilty. But if Jack fake romance with Patty goes public, Victor is going to see it. Victor is going to wonder what the hell Jack is doing. And Victor might even try to interfere, because Victor hates Jack. And Victor hates Patty, so seeing them together is going to make Victor furious. It could drag the Newman family right into the middle of this Abbott family crisis. Which is exactly what Genoa City needs right now: maximum drama. So the stage is set. The pieces are on the board. Diane is fighting a psychological war in a locked room. Jack is selling his soul to a psychopath to save her. Patty is living in a delusional romance. And Dr. Markham is pulling the strings in the shadows. It is a classic soap opera setup, and it is going to be amazing to watch it unfold. Jack's performance of a lifetime is going to require everything he has. He has to be convincing. He has to be charming. He has to be the perfect fake boyfriend. And he has to do it all while his heart is breaking for Diane. It is going to be Emmy-winning material for Peter Bergman. I can already feel it. So keep your eyes glued to the screen. Because this storyline is about to hit high gear, and nobody is going to come out of it unscathed.